Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to New Voices, New Rooms. I'm Eileen Dangler, Executive Director of NABA. I'm joined by our New Voices, New Rooms team, which has been working together since the spring to create this incredible virtual conference. We've spent endless hours imagining how to convert the best of our in-person conferences to a virtual experience and then improve upon it. And as I introduce the team, they can all do the royal wave so you can see who is who. With me is Linda Marie Barrett, Executive Director of SEBA, and my partner in creating our author events and education programming. Nikki Leone is SEBA's website and systems administrator, and she's in charge of registration, production, and communication for New Voices, New Rooms. And SP Rankin, who has worked with SEBA in website development, has created our truly amazing New Voices, New Rooms website, as well as most of the exhibit booths you'll see in our virtual tour. She is the magnificent Oz behind the curtain who makes things really happen on our site. Our own NABA team is still in place with Kit Little, Executive Administrator, in charge of registration for exhibitors, author programming, and ad sales. And Kathy Ellen Davis is the social media coordinator for NABA and now for New Voices, New Rooms. Before I turn it over to Nikki for the tour, I wanted to take a moment to talk about the show. Okay, I hope I'm back on.
You are.
Okay. Well, I don't know where I was, but we've been working for 4 months now, and our number one goal has been to create a program that connects you with booksellers and promotes your authors and your new titles. Your needs were first and foremost in every meeting we've had. Each step of the way, we've considered your experience at the show and worked thoughtfully to make access and attending events easy. We've created a schedule to work for you and the booksellers and everyone's new work demands. We've also focused on education that is relevant to what's happening today and looking forward towards the fourth quarter and next year. I have to thank our wonderful sponsors and every publisher who has joined New Voices, New Rooms. Your support of our virtual conference is a show of support for our associations and our booksellers. This couldn't happen without you, and we appreciate your faith in us. I'm now turning things over to Nikki for the site tour. Please put your questions in the chat and we'll ask them as we go through the tour. Thank you. Over to you, Nikki.
Okay. All right, so yes, the site tour, which I'm giving the tour, but I'm just going to once again, a shout out to SP because she's the one who actually created this website, and we're all very, very proud of it. New Voices, New Rooms' website is designed to be a hub for the conference. The conference itself is basically a series of, it's being held on the Zoom platform, so it's a series, a very, long series of Zoom events taking place across 5 days on 4 different Zoom channels. And each of the events does not have an attendance cap on it, can be attended by up to 500 or even more booksellers or attendees. This is the homepage, and once again, all of you people are in my way. Okay, this is the homepage for newvoicesnewrooms.org. As you can see, we have, our carousel there of major sponsors and some basic news bulletins that will show up from our blog. The New Voices, New Rooms blog is going to be the main point of contact for announcing new information about the show. You can find the blog on the website under news. There's a place to subscribe to it somewhere if you want to do that, but we also have a newsletter that goes out that will also recap information, and SIBA and NABA will also be recapping information that's announced in their respective organization newsletters. I'm going to do things a little bit differently than we did for the booksellers and show you, well, first off, here's our Bookseller Hub, of which the most important thing that we want you to see is that our list of already committed booksellers, it's a huge list. It is also a searchable list, so that you, if you're looking for somebody specific, the table is easily searchable. We have, as of this morning, something like 325 people already registered for the conference from SIBA and NABA stores. I think with SIBA we had, I want to say like 70 bookstores already represented at the conference. I'm not sure. NABA was more like 55 or 60 bookstores that were already represented by registries at the conference. So we're looking at a lot of booksellers from all walks of life. Our registration form actually asks booksellers to tell us their role in the store so that we'll be able to see, and you'll be able to see which ones are owners, which ones are buyers, which ones are event managers. All that information is going to be available for exhibitors and publishers. Okay, so before I get to the nitty-gritty of information for exhibitors and publishers in the industry, I did want to just show you real quick our schedule because it's very pretty and very full, and I think is the reason why we're having such good attendance. Our schedule is divided into 4 basic tracks: education, author events, publishers, networking, and the schedule itself, you can see across the 5 days. You're looking at Monday the 21st here. You can subscribe to it and add events, add the whole thing to your calendar. You can add individual events to your calendar. We've encouraged our booksellers to do that. You can change the way this looks and see it by month, or see it in the sort of graphically pleasing version by pinboard. But agenda is the general format that we've set as the default. And all of these events as well, when you look at the details of them, are also have lots of information, and they're also easily shareable. We have lots of sharing information there. You can save it to your calendar. You can share things to Facebook and to Twitter and to share it to your website, whatever you want to do. The calendar itself is, back here, highly searchable. So if you're looking for something specific, it will come up. It's a basic keyword search across the whole calendar. And we also have tagged all of our publishers in the calendar. So if you want to find events by a particular publisher, you can click on the tag and come up with the events for that publisher. And that's going to turn out to be important when it comes to your exhibit pages, so we'll get to that in a second. So that's our event schedule. It's very, very robust. We've actually been encouraging stores to sign their whole staff in to New Voices, New Rooms. So unlike a trade show, a real world trade show where a lot of our stores are smaller, they can't afford to bring all of their staff along. In this case, it is common for our stores to have their whole staff sign up. It's not unusual to see 5, 6, even 8 people from a single store sign up. So we're looking at reaching really deep into our booksellers market here by just reaching to people who you normally might not even have contact with. So we're very excited about that. Okay, so here's your industry page. The first thing I do want to say is there is a registration form for New Voices, New Rooms. And registration is what we're using to tell whether or not we want to let somebody into any of our Zoom events. So you as an exhibitor want to attend any of these events, and there are some that we are actually asking you to attend, you have to actually go through the registration process. It's not very long. It is basically ask for your general information, but filling out that form is what puts you on the list of people who are allowed to attend any of the Zoom events. So we are encouraging all exhibitors or anybody who has a stake in the conference, any of your sales reps who has a stake in the conference, to register, so that you can actually drop in and see the different events with your authors and featuring your books. Here is our page of sponsorship opportunities for publishers. I will say, your response, publisher response for New Voices, New Rooms has been just amazing. It's been so gratifying. So some of these things actually at this point are sold out, but we had this nice little presentation. Here's our territory. We'll cover 18 states with this conference in DC. We're reaching, over 750 stores and at least 3,000 booksellers. So we think that this show is reaching an important market for you, and we're really pleased with your commitment to reach that market and your support of that market. Key tip about our website: every little red button is something you want to click on, but this is the basically list of things that, as a publisher or a vendor, that you can sign up for. We have sponsorship levels. There's still top tier and premier sponsorship levels available, so you can click on that, and this will sort of outline for you the benefits of doing those things. We're still taking ideas for a la carte events. So if you have ideas for those, you can click on that and sign up for some of those. Featured events are already full. Author-themed events are already full. We are accepting pre-recorded events at this time, so that's still something you can do. And we will work with you to design things that will best get across what you want to get across, best promote your products and your writers. And then here's the virtual exhibit hall, which we'll get to in just a second. But before I do, I did want to say, when you sign up for all of these things, the sign up is being handled by NABA. So all of your invoicing will come through NABA. The picking and choosing of which events or which sponsorships or promotions you want to take advantage of, any advertising you want to buy, that is all being done by NABA. So you'll go through this New Voices, New Room conference publisher form to select all those things. And that actually will commit you to having exhibit halls or whatever you want to buy. But once again, just to reiterate, if you actually want to attend any event, we do need you to fill out the show registration form as well. And then, and we still have, if you're very quick, we still have opportunities for putting things in our show box. And I think we have that until Monday, am I right?
August 31st.
Until the 31st.
Yes.
Until the 31st, you can have something put in our show box. And that is a box of goodies that will be delivered to all, to the first 500 registered attendees of the show. So if you're very quick, or if you have extra promotional items that you're looking for a place to put them, and you have 500 of them, the show box would be an option for that. And before I get to advertising, I want to talk a little bit about the exhibit hall, because that really is sort of, I called it a gateway to awesomeness, actually. It is sort of an amazing thing. Here's our virtual exhibit hall. We do have a directory, a brief directory here, once again searchable, so that we can people can find particular exhibitors as they're looking. Right now, we're up to, it looks like 7 exhibitors that have submitted their materials. A lot of you are in the process of submitting materials. So, you know, we encourage you to do that as quickly as you can, because the sooner you can get them to us, the sooner that we can get them up on the site. But just to show you a few exhibit examples, you have 2 options. You can have New Voices, New Rooms, specifically SP, design your exhibit hall page for you, or you can do it yourself. Federalisms, for example, has done it themselves, and you can see when you click through on their logo, you're taken to a page which I guess they're still in the process of putting together. But if you have New Voices, New Rooms to your page, then you get a page that looks something like this. And there's a section for your logo or banner. There's a section that's more explanatory that you can use to put in whatever copy you want. Soho Press included a video for their fall list, which people can watch. You get up to 6 links in these little red banners here. You get up to 6 links, which you can use to link to whatever you'd like. In this case, Soho has made a link for people to schedule an appointment, or to go to their website to view their collection on Edelweiss. You also get up to 8 product features, which you can put whatever products you want in there. And once again, you can see here that Soho has put, in some cases, places for requesting more information, some places for requesting a galley. And going on down, we do have a show Raffles, so all of the exhibit pages that we design will have this section right here where attendees can enter their bookstore names. And we think of it sort of like dropping a card on a business card on your table. And as the exhibitor for this page, Soho Press will get that list of people who have submitted their names. So that's a basic page. There is a lot that you can do with it, and we do want your exhibit page to work for you. So, you know, different publishers have done different things. Let me show you Macmillan, which is just been, do I still have Macmillan up here? I think I lost Macmillan. I'll find Macmillan in a second. Here's an example, another example, Red Wheel, that I wanted to make sure that you all saw.
SP, there was a question about word count on product feature, text count.
Yeah, I mean, technically there's not a limit, but really just to keep it manageable, probably about 50 words or so. And you can link to anything. If you want to link to a fuller description or whatever, you can do that. I mean, there's a lot of different options.
Thank you.
So this one right here, Red Wheel, they chose to show their show special and include some contact information. You can see they used all 6 of their links for different things, and here's their feature items. One thing I did want to point out is Red Wheel actually has a book that's being featured in the program, and whenever your books are featured in the program, then those events will also, if we built the page, those events will also show up on your exhibit page as well. And as a matter of fact, I think even if you are building your own pages, as opposed to letting us do it, we can provide you with a code to embed the schedule with your events for your own, for you to use on your own built exhibit pages. But this is something that comes standard with the pages that we're doing for the exhibit hall here.
And SP, another question, since we do have the contact, the raffle form, is that something you can provide to exhibitors who are building their own page?
I don't think we can. It's a site feature. So I'm not sure how we would be able to do that. We might be able to have sort of a Google form version that maybe we could share that, but that's something we have to figure out exactly how that would work to make sure that, you know, everything got sent to the right place.
Okay, well, we'll work on that, folks. And yes, raffles are traditional for both SIBA and NABA, and we're doing it virtual this year.
Okay, and the last page, the last exhibit hall page I wanted to show you, because it's one that sort of has put all the bells and whistles on, is Macmillan here. Macmillan did a lot with their page. Here's they decided instead of a logo to put this banner, this great banner up, and they have very targeted information about their different lists and information, a place to click if you're a new account. They've added some videos about their editor buzz and why editor buzz. They've added information about product lines that they're, you know, specific products, key titles that they're promoting. And then down here, Macmillan has a number of books featured in the program. So as you can see on their page, the calendar is fairly extensive. And these are all things that feature Macmillan authors. So with that in mind, and moving back real quickly to the schedule, one of the things that's been a really high priority for us building this conference was creating opportunities for publishers to talk to their booksellers, because a lot of our stores, the only time they ever see their sales reps in person will be at these conferences. The only time they ever get a chance to actually talk to publishers by, you know, in person is at these conferences. They're smaller stores, they're off the beaten path, and it's, you know, they're used to phone meetings or placing orders through Edelweiss. So that connection is something that we're trying to encourage and preserve and make opportunities for. And to that, events that is on the schedule is something that we're calling office hours. There's office hours. And we have office hours scheduled in the conference every day, all 5 days, from 9 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon. And publishers can sign up for a spot on office hours, which will then be their spot to meet with booksellers, to use for really anything that they want. They'll get a breakout room in the event that will be theirs to use however they'd like. You can use it simply to schedule meetings with booksellers. You can use it to have one of your own authors come and do what would be sort of analogous to an in-booth signing. And if you have specific quote-unquote in-booth events that you want to promote, we will put those on the calendar and they will show up on your exhibit page if we've built it, so that people can see that you actually have those events happening or those authors coming to be on your calendar.
And Kit will be sending an email out to all of the exhibitors with a link to sign up for office hours.
Office hours has, it's a, 3.5 hour stint, but we're dividing it into sort of in half. So there's a first and a second slot, and you get 1 hour and 3/4. And you can sign up for 1 slot per day for each exhibit booth or page that you have purchased. So if you have one exhibit page, you can sign up for 1 slot every day. You know, if you have 2, you can sign up for 2. So, and I think that is the main stuff I wanted to talk about. Is there anything else? Oh, we do have advertising. I guess I should talk about that. New Voices, New Rooms does have a mailing list. We are sending out updates now to people who have registered. The first one just went out on Monday. Next one will go out this coming Monday. And then the week of the show, we will be sending a morning email that sort of tells everybody what to expect that day. It will include things like the highlights of the schedule for the day. It will let people know who has office hours, what publishers have office hours that day. If there's any other important news, it will be conveyed in those morning update emails. The website and the newsletters all have a banner advertising space available. You've seen them sort of being displayed here. And they sort of look, where are my banner ads? Here, oh, here we go. They look sort of like this, and banner ads are also purchased through the NABA sign-up form when you register for an exhibit booth. So, and I think I've run through everything. So.
Nikki, could you just show us, just because you have control of the screen, the office hours sign up, just so people can see that form? Do you have access?
Okay, yeah,
to that
office
quickly?
hours sign up. We have a form for that. It is something that you'll get the link for it when you've registered for your booth, or when you're talking to SP, or I think there might even be a link to it on the information page. But it is a pretty basic form. It just asks your name and your company and your phone number. We do ask that you confirm that you're an exhibitor. And then there's this little set of instructions. But the main things to know is if you're planning on having special in-booth events that you'd like to show up on the calendar, you check that and we'll get in touch with you about what the details. And then here you can just sort of register for whichever events you want.
So the next,
we have a lot.
Well, I have a quick question about that. So publishers who have already created their own meetup page to connect with booksellers, could they get on our calendar? I guess they're doing their own office hours. So could we
Yes.
do a calendar link? Yes. So Mary Beth, if you just send that information to us, we'll put it on the calendar.
Yes, we will definitely do that. Anything that you want that's specific to your exhibit, what you want to tell our attendees, if it's an event-oriented thing, then we can create a place for it on the calendar and have it show up on your exhibit page. So that was a whole lot of stuff in a very short period of time. Sorry. Eileen, shall I turn it back over to you? Is there?
Let's see.
I'm sure
Talked about office hours, events linked to your booth. We're live now. I think I sort of mentioned that in the chat. So the sooner you get us your information, the sooner we can put it online. We are live, and we are going to keep New Voices, New Rooms active until the end of the year.
Yes.
Review copies. If your author is featured at an event, we will have a Google form at the end of the event to incentivize people who are attending. And that's where they can sign up to get review copies, and we'll share it with those publishers. And then after the event, you can make them available through your booth. We will be promoting every single morning. Everyone registered for New Voices, New Rooms will get an email with that day's list of events, Zoom links and reminders. If you are buying advertising, your ad would appear in those emails. Let's see, the show box. I think you've covered everything. Do we have any other questions?
Micah McKnight is asking about the length of a time slot. If this is for publisher office hours, to make it just sort of easy on us specifically, there's the 2 time slots. You can have a like a 9 to a, what, quarter to 9 to quarter to 11 slot, and then 11 to 12:30 slot, whatever that comes out to. You get an hour and 45 minutes on there. What you do with that is up to you. I have had people, some publishers ask me if they could provide recorded content to run at that time, and the answer to that is yes, we can do that for you if you want. The publisher's office hours is basically a meeting that has a series of breakout rooms. So whoever will be in your room, we expect attendees to come in and they will say where they want to go. So we don't always know who will be in a room at any given time, but yes, we can run pre-recorded content.
I thought maybe Kathy Ellen could jump on and talk about social media and what she's doing to tag publishers and authors, and then we'll come back to some of the other questions.
Sure, I can talk about it very quickly. So we are creating some social media assets that the booksellers can share here in the Bookseller Hub. Thanks, Nikki. Right now, just some basic ones that say, I'm going to the conference. I'm excited about the conference. We are all going. You know, you can see them right here. We're looking forward to. And I'm working on creating some videos that can be shared as Instagram stories, Instagram reels, since those are getting lots of great views on Facebook, that say, look who's coming to the conference, and it'll have the author for their book, this, you know. I'm also creating a spreadsheet that's going to be linked in here soon, so all the booksellers will have access to that has all the information about the author and or illustrator and your social media handles as well. So when they take these videos from us, if they want to share, or these graphics that are promoting specific authors, specific events, I'm anticipating someone might take a graphic and say, we are so excited to see X, Y, and Z at the conference. And this spreadsheet will have all those handles, so they can tag you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They can tag the author and or illustrator there as well. And hopefully that just gets more excitement going for the conference. And maybe that can even lead to some connections and things like that. So we're trying to make it very easy on our end to provide all of that for them. Even as they're watching the events, they can share and not have to be looking up every little thing. So we're looking forward to building the hype kind of all together for this.
Okay. Now, some other questions as I'm reading through. If the authors and editors are signed up by us, will we register for them for the conference? I guess my team has to tell me if I can do that easily, or
Yes, we can register them for the conference.
okay, so we'll take care of that
information.
All right, so we'll take care of that for you. All your editors and authors will be registered. And with the office hours, the question came up, how do the booksellers and publishers join? You would be given a link you have to be registered for the conference, and then you will be given a link to register for office hours, and you just show up and you'll be sent into a breakout room. The booksellers will sign up as well, and when they come into the waiting room, they'll say, I'd like to go see this publisher, and we'll direct them to your breakout room. And then they can leave when they're done speaking with you and go to another publisher's room. I think we, in the chat, sent the link if you need SP to create your exhibit booth. In the chat, she put the link to that form. What are other questions? Rep pick of the list. I've started assigning times for the publishers who have signed up for it, and I will be emailing them directly with information on their date and their time and the Zoom room as soon as that room is assigned. Each rep pick of the list is a 10-minute slot. We have national rep pick of the list, and we also have regional rep pick of the list for our independent rep groups. see, I think I've gotten all the questions. If I missed a question, you want to drop it in there again?
I did want to reiterate, on the schedule, we were calling it, originally sort of in-house, we were calling it publisher office hours, but it is for anybody who is an exhibitor. So I know we have some services, some rep groups, some, some sidelines vendors. Office hours is our way to give you a space to talk to our attendees, you know.
All right, anything else? Have we missed anything? We are really excited about this. It's going to be an incredible 5 days, an exhausting 5 days, but a lot of fun. It is very different from what we create for our in-person events. We've tried to be cognizant of people's times, balancing author events and education and building in some gaps and breaks so booksellers and publishers can attend to their daily jobs and obligations. That's why it's over 5 days. Things will be recorded. The only things we will not record are the retreats, but everything else will be recorded. The question is there a cost for office hours if you're an exhibitor? No, there is no cost.
However, you do need to be an exhibitor to
Yes, you do.
have office hours. So there's that cost.
So someone wants to know if you're a sideline vendor. Is there a way to identify yourself? I think it would be pretty obvious as people are looking at your page.
I think if someone wants to put an item in the show box, they need to speak directly with Kit, right, Kit, at this point?
Yes, if you want to send me an email at naibabooksellers@gmail.com. That's Naiba, N-A-I-B-A, booksellers with an S @gmail.com, and I'll put it in the chat as well. I can get you set up to get something to the Showbox people in time, but time is of the essence for that.
They're asking, is there a cost for you for New Voices, New Room building the exhibit page versus them doing it themselves?
And there is no cost for that. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for you. The question is the format for the logo.
JPEG or PNG?
Anything you want, we can handle it.
SP is amazing.
It is.
Mad skills.
If you look through this
The higher the
website,
resolution, the better, though. So everything looks sharp and crisp and nice on all these fancy screens everybody's got.
and this site is mobile friendly.
Completely mobile friendly. It should work on, we assume that our attendees are going to be at their stores working during a big part of this conference. So this site and the Zoom events will work on phones, they'll work on iPads. I think they're sort of vetted for almost every mobile device.
And yes, once you register as an exhibitor and you've purchased your booth, you will get an email from Kit with all the pertinent links, a link to register all your staff, a link if you need a custom page, a link to the form to submit your URL and logo if you're creating your own page.
There's also information, I think, here.
Right. And at the moment, we don't have any more pick of the lists available, Editor's Buzz, or featured author spots. Unfortunately, well, happily, we've filled all of those. When we first created this event, we had pick of the list every day, Editor's Buzz every day, and we were like, oh, probably not going to use these spots. And now it's like, do we have more? Can we find another half hour somewhere? So we're very excited about our schedule.
We had a very good session, I think, with our booksellers just, an hour earlier than this, and they were all very, very excited. We had really, really good comments. So I think it's going to be a good show.
Well, if we don't have any more questions, we don't want to keep you. Time is of the essence for everybody these days. But again, we really appreciate the support you're giving both SIBA and NABA by participating in our New Voices, New Rooms. It's very important to the associations as well as to our booksellers. And we appreciate very much that you're supporting us this way. And we look forward to giving you a fantastic experience. So thank you all very, very much.